A very, very warm welcome to each one of you here today with us. Thank you for taking out the time to be here. We hope you had a lovely evening yesterday. And a very warm welcome to our second home here in Chakan. So it's a very special day for us today as we launch a revolutionary product in the light commercial category. And we're looking forward to take you through what we offer as part of this very special product. So without much ado, I will request Mr. Vijay Nakra, President, Automotive Division, to please come on stage.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being present here, as Neha said, at our second home, Chakan. We chose Chakan as the destination for this. I know, apologies for any inconvenience. We normally would do a commercial vehicle launch in Mumbai because it makes it that much more convenient from a connectivity. Pune is not that well connected, but this is the place where we are going to make this disruptive product. And we just thought it's very important for us to host you here so that you get to not only see the product, but drive it, experience it, and see how we are going to manufacture it. Also, typically SUV as a category or passenger vehicles as a category gets all the glamour. The commercial vehicle does not receive all that kind of glamour that segment has been getting in the recent many years. So that's another reason why we wanted you all to come and actually drive the product. Most of you all are very excited to drive SUVs. People don't normally drive commercial vehicles. But what we are launching today is such a disruptor from all angles that the real flavor of what we are creating is when you will drive the product. And as we will unfold the presentation and communication to you, you will see why. Why is this a category disruptor? What is it that it brings into the category that, gives us the confidence that we will redefine our position in the LCV less than 3.5 ton segment? So let me dive into our communication with all of you all today. I'm going to be joined over a period of time in our communication by Veero, and then we'll have Ajay, who will come up and talk about the design. Then we'll have Satish and Dr. Venkat come and talk to you about everything the product has to offer. And then Nal will come in and tell you how we are stacking up the variants. And of course, what all of you all will want to see, which is what's the pricing of this product. So let's dive into what we have in store for you. Can we move to the presentation, please? I just want to begin by setting a little bit of a context of the category and who we are. I know you've heard us talk about this time and again that we are market leaders, but I just want to give you a flavor of when we talk about leadership, what do we mean by leadership? So on the left, you see how the industry has evolved over a period of time. In F 2010, it was about 200,000. It's almost doubled now to 500,000 in F24. And if you look at our share in the less than 3.5 ton segment, we were in the early 30s, but you can see the steep hockey stick rise that we've had in terms of our market share, where we are now at 50% market share. We've dominated the category for 25 years. 50% is not a small figure. But the journey has been a great one in terms of dominance. In the period of 98 to 2005, we got to 1 lakh customers. It took us 10 years from there to get to 10 lakh customers. It took us another 7 years from there in F21 to add another 10 lakh customers. And then the next 10 lakh came in a period of 4 years. So it's been a great journey. Today, we have 30 lakh plus happy customers. As I mentioned, we are number one in the 2 to 3.5 ton segment for 25 years. It's like a silver jubilee, 25 years of dominance. Often not mentioned because all the conversation is around SUVs and PVs, but our range of pickups is amongst the top 4 four-wheeler brand sold in India in F24. That's the scale and volume that we talk about. And of course, we've had the highest sales of CVs in F24 with 2.5 lakh volumes. As a market leader, we've always delivered beyond expectations. That's the range of products we've brought in over a period of time. I want to talk a little bit about us as market leaders, how we've brought in segment firsts. We were the first in this category to bring in technology. So we brought in iMax. We were the first who looked at what the customer wanted from a comfort point of view, and we brought in height adjustable seats. We revolutionized this segment across multiple payload points, 1.1, 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, and we were the first to bring in again a 2-ton in the category. Driver plus 2 seating, start-stop technology, flatbed cargo, 9 feet, 10 feet cargo length. So over a period of time, we've disrupted the segment time and again. And I think that's probably the reason why we've been able to dominate the category, and not only that, even expand the category. Because beyond a certain point, the responsibility of category expansion always lies with the leader. Let me now talk to you a little bit about who are our customers. On the 3 screens, you see 3 different segments or 3 different customer archetypes or profiles. And each one of them has their unique requirements and needs. So if you look at Ramesh, who's a market load operator, he has his own pain points in the category of, not just having a vehicle which is a workhorse. Just because he's a driver and is employed to drive the vehicle does not mean that he doesn't look for comfort. He's looking for respect. He is looking for maneuverability with safety. Their lives are equally important. It's not about vehicle length or the vehicle design to allow maneuverability, but they also look for safety. Then you have Anuj, who's the captive user, a true, sort of a owner of a business and has a single vehicle or even a fleet of vehicles. For him, what is important is operating economics, his operating cost, asset utilization. And then you have someone like Yuvraj, who's a contract fleet owner. For him, it's about fleet utilization, real-time tracking of the vehicle, so that he's fully aware of whether the vehicle is being misused, abused, the mileage, as well as the overall efficiency of the asset. Now, when you look at the category or the industry today, there really is not a product or a platform, if I can say. There are multiple products. But I don't think anyone has, and hence we believe that we had this opportunity, which is what we spotted in the market. That when you have a diverse profile of customers with so many pain points, how do you create a platform which has got multiple offerings on it for multiple customers, which allows them to meet their needs without having to make trade-offs? The problem in this segment is there are too many trade-offs. Customers have to trade off one thing for another thing. And we thought that as market leaders, it was time for us to think ahead and create a range of products that even goes beyond what customers want. Soch se aage. How do we think ahead and how do we go about creating a range of products that's going to disrupt the category? We will get into more details, but let me ask Veero to come up at this stage to talk to you about the platform and why we have the confidence that this is going to disrupt the market. Veero, over to you.
Thank you, Vijay. Good morning. So, Vijay made it very simple. Number 1. So, my job is to make sure this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm done. So, what's number 1? Is India's first multi-energy commercial vehicle platform. It's not yet released into the market so far. It includes diesel, CNG, and electric. It's in the same platform. 2, it's up to 2 ton. And what we are releasing now is 1.5 ton. And we have tested it for twice the load. And if you test it twice the load, the frame, the cabin, the cargo has to be very stiff and rugged. So we made sure the frame is 2 times the bending and torsion of any nearest competition, and the cabin is 3 times bending of any nearest competition. So even if the cargo comes and hits, cabin is safe. The cabin is 4 times, above 4 times the torsional rigidity. So even if you hit somewhere, the other fellow will fall, the cabin will not fall. So you are safe. So that's 2, 3, 4 for you. I'm not yet done. We have multiple choices of payloads, different wheelbase. I'm not talking about 20-35, I'm talking about 30-35 is the cargo length, one cargo length. The another cargo length for city is little smaller, it's easy to remember, 2-765, simple. So 30-35, 2-765, done. So that's multi-cargo, multi-wheelbase, 9 feet and 10 feet cargo lengths. We have a turning circle radius, which we said with this, we have to beat everybody in the industry. Everybody said, I am at 12, I am at 11.8. No, we are 10 standard. So we said 10.2 is our turning circle meters, diameter. So it's about 18% lower than anybody nearest competition in the industry. So you can easily turn around in the city, in the narrow roads. So that's the turning circle radius. Exceptional performance and capability. The performance comes from multi sources. The 1.5 liter engine has a 4 volts per cylinder. It has got a peculiar benefit to the customer. The benefit is like this. At 1000 RPM, you need the torque when you are going over a gradient, speed breakers, flyovers in city and in highway. Our engine delivers again 18% better torque at 1000 RPM. The competition delivers measured torque 140 Newton meter. Ours give you 165 Newton meter. That's because 4 volts per cylinder. We bring genuine 1.5 liter diesel engine, not like others. So that gives you the best low-end torque. That makes you to shift the gear early, and that should obviously give, again, 18% fuel efficiency. So it gives you 18% fuel efficiency compared to any nearest competition. 18% I don't understand, so how do I calculate a little differently? Suppose I run 10,000 kilometers. How much rupees I pocket it? 10,000 rupees. 10,000 kilometers I run, 10,000 rupees I pocket it. That's a huge value. It's very simple. 17.4 kilometer per liter, that's what I'm getting. That gives you 555 liters. 555 liters multiplied by 90 rupees diesel in Mumbai gives you 50,000 rupees. The others you have to pay 61,525 rupees. You can calculate, you can measure it. This is measured value. So that's the exceptional performance and the capability of this platform. The engine is really, really optimized engine and gearbox. You get this benefit. Unmatched savings. We did not only pay attention to the structure stability, so therefore your brake is stable, and your steering is stable, and your tire life is stable, but we also paid attention to service intervals. So we set it 2, always 2. Minimum is 2 and maximum is 3, 4, 5, correct? And here it is twice the service interval. If somebody says 10,000 kilometers is the service interval, we say 20,000, because that's our minimum. So after the first service, you get 20,000 kilometers for next every service intervals. That is really cool for this platform because the structure is so stable that the tire life, brake life, steering life, everything is very stable. The fuel efficiency is so good that you don't use liquid so much. IMAX features, somebody told me in the morning 50 features, somebody told me in the 70 features, but you can calculate from anything between 50 and 70. The competition is nowhere near to this. I covered 1, 2, 3, 4, but I didn't cover the 5th one. Now you get it. The safety. First, in the segment, the platform gives you the safety. It gives you 2 things. It's a forward cabin, and you have a highly likely possibility to hit full frontal, right? We said two things we do. In cabin, we do something, and in the frame, we do something. The frame is the first point of engagement in the event of a hit, and it takes 5 times the load of any competition. So that's the fifth. So suppose the competition takes 35 joules roughly, and we take 155 joules. It's kilojoules, sorry, kilojoules. Far away from any competition in terms of crash performance. That's why you see the crash tip, it's about 200 millimeter it crashes. My colleagues will show you the video and then stops. Beyond that, you cannot go, the cabin is safe. So that's 5 times for you. And it is in first time in the industry, we bring this crash performance of the vehicle, then we add. Because of the crash, the driver will lean forward, then you put a safety airbag. So we put the airbag. We don't compromise anything when it comes to driver's safety. We give spacious cabin, and you can sit in our car, and you can sit in competition car. You really have the shoulder space, leg space. It's very, really comfortable, car-like experience, fatigue-free drive, and that's the 6th, 7th, 8th, all that you can add it. The next generation frame comes with the high-strength steel, and that's what is giving this high performance of load-carrying capability and stability to the structural components underneath. That's the most important thing. Brake, steering, suspension, tire, you cannot have any deformations and wears. Premium cabin experience is what we said. 3 people can really sit very nicely, and then you have an infotainment cabin. So that's 1 to 5, and then added features of 6 to 10. Dr. Venkat and Amit are smiling. They created it. India's grounded multi-energy modular platform. You can now see the rolling pictures, how the CNG cylinders are stacked. Look at the frame. It's always constant, right? Everything else is changed. That's why we call that as modular. You keep the frame constant, so therefore you keep the tire, you keep the suspension, you keep the engine, you keep all your suspension components, rear axle, propeller shaft, everything common. That's the beauty of this platform. This is how on the top of it, you put all the cargos, top hats. By the way, you can put EV in this. But please don't ask me, you buy a diesel vehicle and then convert to EV. Please buy an EV. But when it comes to service, all of the tires and tire suspension and brake steering components are common. 5 wheelbases overall, the diesel, CNG, and this one. And then you have 14 cargo body options, 4 tire sizes, unbelievably designed experience. Our colleagues will come and explain. Pradap Bose and Ajay Saran have done it beautifully, the design of this on this modular platform. Do you expect anything more? Brand purpose. So I call you the guru of the brand purpose, Vijay, to take it forward, the brand purpose. Vijay, over to you.
Thank you, Velu. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay.
So I just want to summarize what Velu put out there before Satish and Venkat come up. It's India's first modular multi-energy platform. And we are proud as market leaders to disrupt Soch Se Aage and bring that into the market. 5 wheelbases, 14 different cargo types, 3 powertrains, all of that on one single platform. Let's now move to the brand purpose. Some of you all may be familiar with this. This is something in 2020 that we put out for all our businesses. For the small commercial vehicle, what we had said is that if you look at this category, it's about getting the tough going. It was about creating products that would meet customers' expectations and exceed that, who are entrepreneurs, and give them the best solution. Now, as we created this opportunity of our Urban Prosper platform, we thought it fits in so beautifully with our brand purpose. Why not then look at giving this platform a brand name that is so apt for this customer? This segment, this customer is all about the daredevil. It's all about the person who goes out there to earn respect and come out victorious. So can we please reveal the brand name? So it's called Veero for the Veer out there. And we believe we have a product that will help that customer truly be victorious. Soch se aage, Veero. Now, what's the plan with Veero? Where does it fit in the portfolio? How is it going to help business expand and grow? Let me share a couple of slides with you on that. Little complicated slide, so let me take a little bit of time to put things in perspective. If you look at the x-axis is about application. When you buy a product like this, you either drive it within the city, which is intra-city, or you do intercity, which is long distances between the city. So that's the usage. Then you've got how the industry segments it on the y-axis, which is less than 1 ton. Then you have the typical 1 to 2 ton single cab, and then you have the double cab. And if you look at our product range, how it fits on both these axes, you will see that from an industry size, about 35% of the industry sits with our max range, which is used more towards intercity and between 1.5 to 2 tons of payload. Then on the other end of the spectrum, you have less than 1 ton payload, where we have Supro and Jito, which is again about 35% of the industry. There we have 80% share. Here we have 25% share. And then there is a huge 30% that sits in the middle, which is more intra-city and between 1.1 to 1.7 ton payload. That is about 30% of the industry, and our share there is 40%. So Veero is going to be a range of products which we will bring over a period of time that will help us increase our share in that category and segment, which is more for intra-city and where we have a lower market share. And hence, we don't see too much of cannibalization that will happen with our max pickup range of products. Also, if we drill this data of 40% down further, if we look at our share in southern India, South India is about 36% of the industry. It's the largest in terms of size of the category. And our market share is 27%. So at one side, we have an overall market share of 63.1%. Some segments, we have 80% market share. But then there are some segments where we are at 40%, and some markets where we go even lower to 23, 24% market share, 27% market share. So the whole objective and idea of Veero is to find that sweet spot in the middle, help us have a wide range of products across our portfolio, going from multiple applications of intra-city to intercity, multiple load points, multiple powertrains. And again, as a leader, it's all about soch se aage. It's our responsibility to create products that go even beyond what the customers ask. And I'm now going to call Ajay to come up on stage to share with you the whole thought that has gone behind designing this product. And after that, Satish and Venkat will come. But for the product that the team has created, we've been seeding the product in the market for a while. Unlike the past, where nobody's actually gone and put a product in the market to seed it in the small commercial vehicle space. And the response is very, very encouraging. And we were so happy to see that there were many customers who, when they saw the product, drove the product, one thing that they said, "Ye gaadi ab mere liye hai." Because in this segment, the customer is typically driving for someone else. But here is a product that M&M will offer that will fulfill all their requirements. And now I'm going to ask the team to share why they believe so. Thank you, Ajay.
Thanks, Vijay. So, we'll now take you through how the design evolved. I think it was very important for us to very clearly communicate through the design all of the brand values that Vijay just spoke of, the technical capability that we just spoke of. So before getting into the details, I'd like to call Pratap to just say a few words. Please, Pratap.
Thank you. Thanks. Wow, what a what an incredible occasion. You know, yesterday one of you all asked me that, do you also design commercial vehicles? We thought you all are only SUV designers. That's where the glamour is. And I said, just wait for tomorrow morning, where we take you through how we've designed this product, the Veero, and how we've used exactly the same process as we use for all our, let's say, multi-award winning, loved SUVs. There is no difference in the process. There's a difference in approach. And as Vijay mentioned, while there are trade-offs, you will see there's no compromise. There's no compromise at all in the way we've brought Veero to life. And, you know, through the slides that Ajay will present, is probably the first time many of you all will see sort of small commercial vehicles, you know, being designed using sketches, using clay, using digital modeling. And, you know, we at Mahindra Design, and particularly MIDS, which is Mahindra India Design Studio, which is in Mumbai, are absolutely thrilled that we had a chance to work on a once-in-a-lifetime game changer like the Veero. So I hand you over to Ajay. Ajay runs the India studio. He heads that. And let him take you through the colorful journey of bringing Veero to life. Thank you.
Thanks, Pratap.
Thank you.
So good morning, everyone, again. This will show you a behind-the-scenes approach of how this superb, fantastic product was conceived. In terms of the exterior, there were 3 or 4 tenets that we worked towards. I think the key driving word, which all of us came to when we were briefing the design team, was making a product that was visually very, very aspirational. We all are aware of commercial vehicle operating realities, lack of drivers, so on and so forth, and we wanted to put forth a product that actually wanted people to own it, wanted people to drive it, and that is exactly the kind of conceptualization we started off with. So the product had to look extremely purposeful and very, very confident on the street. We very carefully worked on the proportions in close conjunction with Veeru's team to ensure that the product looks very strong and very, very purposeful. At the same time, there was the whole issue of an unmistakable identity, which again, through the graphic that we used on the product, was brought forth. So even from a distance, you'd easily be able to say it's a Veero, it's a Mahindra Veero. And many of the details as we zoomed in, so the sort of hierarchy of design that we use is we set up proportions that are very powerful, then we get into very modern, clean surface treatment, followed by details that are very enticing. So again, the details you see will be very, very class appropriate, very tough, and at the same time, very carefully and worked out in a very refined manner. So here again, like Pratap mentioned, we've got a few of the hundreds of sketches that we started off with, but all of these you will see work very closely with these words that you have in the center: purposeful, confident, planted, highly detailed, and highly crafted. Of course, we had to converge from here, and we started moving in towards the direction which you see in the center. There's supposed to be a red line there which is missing, but the center sketch, absolutely in the dead center, is the one we decided to go ahead with. So there again, you can see how powerfully stanced the vehicle is, and at the same time, how strong the graphic identity is. So completely unmistakable and extremely recognizable. This sketch was then picked up and refined further to start evolving into what you will see on the road, what you'll see as we reveal the product. So again, like I said, a very bold, highly expressive cabin, extremely confident on the streets, and at the same time, surface treatment that is almost automotive, very clean, very modern. The various sort of processes we used ensured we got the correct sort of proportions between the glass house, the sheet metal. So again, all of these were worked out through properties such as clay models post the sketching phase. So again, world-class processes that were followed here as well. This is a very early clay model that we worked on, and this was then further refined to give us what we finally have on the street. And then, of course, finally, the product as we will see it. Again, you can see that irrespective of the environment the product stands in, it's extremely at ease, very confident, very modern, be it in a studio environment or even on the streets out there in the mountains. Moving on to the interiors, here I think the team was very clear that this had to be a very functional office space, very modern, and one of the instructions we gave the team was that there has to be a place for something or for everything, and everything has to be in its place. So everything, when you experience the cabin on the product, is very easy to reach, very easy to use, highly ergonomic, very simple functional forms, yet very modern and well crafted. And this process again went through whatever, I think the mic's cut off, it's back now. And these are some of the sketches you see as we converge towards the final design. And this is an artist's impression of what we finally have in the product. Again, very, very usability based. So we are aware that many of the users are not owners themselves, yet they expect all of these comforts. So full flat seats, you can lie down, you can relax, browse, infotainment that is easy to reach and gives you a lot of information at a glance. And again, the use of materials that are very premium and extremely automotive, which you see here. So again, a constant feedback we have received that this is truly car-like, which is one of the main directions that we'd given the design team actually. And if you look at the kind of materials we use, the kind of discussions we had on the body colors, they were absolutely top-notch and world-class in terms of the execution. Thank you. Satish, Venkat, over to you to dive deeper. Thanks. Thank you.
Hello.
Check.
Thank you, Ajay, for that wonderful presentation of the design for Mahindra Veero. Namaskar, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be in front of you. Doctor, in case you're wondering why am I not dressed as all the Mahindra guys, let me tell you.
I was wondering that.
Yeah, you have a good eye. I'm representing the customer's voice today. As a planner, I get to meet a lot of customers in the field. And while doing the concept for Mahindra Veero, we as a team would have met more than 1,000 customers across the length and breadth of this country. And today, I'm here to represent the customer's voice, to talk about the pain points, Vijay did speak up some of them, talk about the various challenges, the various trade-offs, the various compromises that our commercial customer needs to take on a regular basis. So let me move on to the first one. Can I have the slide, please? This is a very interesting trade-off. This is a segment that Vijay talked about, which is the intra-city, the 30% of industry, where we have a 40% market share. And the pickups are a preferred vehicle. And yet, there is a 60% competition that exists in this segment. This is because in the city, customers want vehicles that can be easily parked. They want longer cargo decks, but they want ease of parking. They need to park the vehicles in very small spaces. They also need to maneuver in narrow lanes. They need to make sharper turns. So maneuverability is a very important criteria for these customers. And hence, some of them do prefer what Veero called as a front-forward construction that the competition vehicles has got. But when customers use those vehicles and they come back and tell me, Satish, look, I'm driving this vehicle, but all I have in front is a windshield, a steering wheel, and nothing in front. Where's my safety? I don't have a nose, I don't have a bonnet, I don't have an engine, I don't have tires. There's absolutely no safety for me. And that's a huge compromise I make for buying this category of vehicle. So doctor, how have we sort of looked at this challenge and what has the team done to deliver on this?
Challenge accepted. Soch se aage is the principle. So let me show you how we are doing this. It is through innovative engineering. So we start from where the driver sits. The driver sits in the cabin. So the cabin is built with a robust ring structure for protection. It's a safety cage. It's a cocoon where the driver sits and it is protected. The driver is protected because of the structure that we have designed with high strength steel. Significant amount, 30% of high strength steel has gone into the cabin to make sure that we've reinforced it and we are giving the safety that we need in the safety cocoon of the cabin. Now, that's one part of it. Of course, Veero talked about the frame. As you all know, the frame is the backbone of the commercial vehicle, and therefore it has to be engineered exceptionally well to make sure that we can provide that safety. So 80% of the crash load in case of any collision goes to the frame. The remaining 20% is meant to be taken by the cabin. And we have 62% high strength steel that we have engineered on the frame. And this is the best in class that usage of high strength steel for any frame in this category. And you can see that there is a crash box that we have at the front. Veero described it. It is at the front of the frame, where in a frontal crash, the impact actually happens. The frame first makes contact. And you can see in this simulation that the crash box basically collapses and the rest of the frame is intact, which means that the energy that is given onto the vehicle in the case of a frontal collision, what we have simulated here is basically an AS096. It's a 48 kilometers per hour full frontal crash. And you can see how the crash box takes the load and there is no other deformation, there is no damage behind that crash box. So this is how we have engineered safety in the frame. What happens at the vehicle level? You can see the animation there. I mentioned 80% energy in crash is taken by the frame, 20% by the cabin. And as a result of it, what are we able to do? AS096, which is beyond regulatory compliance. This 096 does not apply to commercial vehicles, but we have got the Veero certified for this. AS029 is the regulation. Veero mentioned this. 30 kilojoules is the energy that is required to comply with AS029. In this case, we are meeting an energy, a full frontal crash energy of 155 kilojoules, more than 5x of the energy. And this is how we have engineered the Veero as a vehicle to be really safe. ARAI has certified this, and they've also certified the airbag crash test, the driver airbag, which is first in segment, first in category. I'll just leave it for a minute to see the video again. You can see the driver is fully protected as the driver moves forward in the event of a crash, and the airbag is basically cushioning the driver's movement forward. We also have seatbelt pre-tensioners and load limiters, just like in passenger vehicles, to make sure that they all work together. As the airbag is getting deployed, seatbelt pre-tensioner works, load limiters work, and the crash is managed very, very successfully so that the driver does not get injured in the event of a crash. So are you satisfied, Satish?
Wonderful, doctor. I mean, a segment first airbag option, not only in India, but in many global markets. 5 times crash energy absorption capability. I know I can't put a crash guard in front because I'm penalized, but here it's like internal crash guards that you've developed for us. Amazing, doctor. But tell me, what happens to our primary need of maneuverability? How's the maneuverability of the vehicle?
We have not sacrificed on that at all. Therefore, soch se aage. So, if you look at the turning circle radius, Veero mentioned this as well. The radius that we have engineered is basically 5.1 meters, turning circle radius. It is significantly better than our competition. How does this help? In urban spaces, in tight spaces, you can maneuver this vehicle a whole lot easier compared to the competition in this front cab category. What else have we done? We have given superior all-round visibility in terms of design. The command seating position that Ajay talked about and the way the cabin has been designed gives it superior all-round visibility, 209 degrees as the driver is seated in the cabin. They can look around and they can see 209 degrees, right? And how does this help? Obviously, you see better, you have tighter turning circle radius, you are able to maneuver better. We also have provided a rear view camera, so that, of course, increases the visibility when you're reversing.
So like my customer would now say, "Kam katai, बेहतर विजिबिलिटी, बेहतर सलामती, बेटर घुमाई." वाकई इस सोच से आगे डॉक्टर. But I come to the next challenge. You know what customers tell me? Sir, 6 लाख की पैसेंजर कार, 7 लाख की पैसेंजर कार, बढ़िया सी इंटीरियर, बढ़िया सा कंफर्ट, हम लोग 7 लाख देते हैं, 8 लाख देते हैं, 10 लाख देते हैं. I know we are doing it for a commercial vehicle to increase the loading capabilities and also meet the new emission norms. But what's in for me? मेरे लिए क्या है? सारा दिन तो मैं गाड़ी में होता हूं, या तो गाड़ी चला रहा हूं, आइडल भी होगा तो गाड़ी में बैठ रहा हूं, गाड़ी में खा रहा हूं. The car cabin is like a second home for me. There's no comfort whatsoever. If the cabin is slightly comfortable, the interiors are outdated. Modern cabins come in with better looking, but they are very cramped. It's a real trade-off. I don't know what to do. Is there a solution for this, doctor?
Of course there is. Challenge accepted again. I'll let the video play here. We have the most spacious cabin engineered for D+2 driver +2 seating. You can see the dimensions of the cabin are in the interior, they are higher so that the driver can make use of that space. We have sliding seats, we have seat backs which can recline 36 degrees, we have height adjustable headrests as well. Full folding flat seats so that the driver can actually lie down, take rest, of course when they are parked. And you can see the well-appointed cabin. Ajay's videos are better. Multiple utility spaces. We have the highest utility space that we have provided in the IP and in the center console area. 13 liters of space that we have provided. Two glove boxes, a lower glove box and an upper glove box available, and there is storage space in the center console as well. Highest storage space available in the IP and center console, and meaningfully engineered. You can see that behind the seats there are bins available where you can actually store materials meaningfully. It is not just space. The space can actually be utilized for the customer to store many things. What else is available? 26 centimeter touchscreen infotainment screen. Steering wheel controls. AC with heater and demister. Power windows. Rear view camera display on the infotainment screen. So I think it's an extremely well-appointed cabin. It is the driver's second home, and look at what we've created as a second home. What else? Ride and drive comfort. Obviously, for fatigue-free driving, so that the driver can drive more, can be more productive, can get unmatched savings, we've provided the best ride and drive comfort in the category. What you see here in a graph is a seat vertical acceleration. Why is that important? Because if you feel the vibration in the seat, then that causes fatigue. You can see the comparison against the competition. We are about 25% better than competition. Of course, when the vehicle is moving, when there is an engine, things are going to vibrate on the road. But you can see that by engineering it exceptionally well, we have reduced the seat level vibration by 25% versus the competition. Driver level noise is important. We have minimized that significantly versus competition. And everything leads to better comfort for the driver as the driver is driving the vehicle. Again, it's about driving more and being able to earn more. Does that answer your question?
Sure. Seats that you can sleep on. Sone pe suhaga. Soch se aage. Excellent, doctor. But I come to my moot point. This is a commercial vehicle after all. I need to be capable of carrying more load. I need a vehicle that performs. Sir, a flyover pe aasani se chadna chahiye. Nobody should keep honking from behind, kind of humiliation we face. How do we make more capable vehicles?
So, one way is to, of course, add more weight where you can carry more payload, but that doesn't necessarily help us, right? So we have to engineer things very efficiently to make sure that we can get the best performance. We start with the engine here. Veero mentioned a little bit about the engine. So we have 3-cylinder, 4-valve diesel engine, 80 horsepower, 210 Newton meters. Very good low-end torque, much better than competition. We have 4-cylinder CNG engine derived from our petrol engine. That has 90 horsepower and 210 Newton meter of torque. So these are the two powerhouses that are powering our vehicles, that are powering the Mahindra Veero.
Excellent. So which means that I have a power in eco mode. So if there is more load, I put in the power button. When I'm coming back empty, I put in the eco mode. I save. Excellent. Great work, Doc. What else?
So we have engineered the cargo body as well to provide maximum capability. Up to 1,600 kilos of payload, 10-foot and 9-foot cargo body options. We've got standard deck and high deck available. Of course, vehicle is also available in a cab chassis form. We have engineered the cargo body. The cargo body is not something that we think of later. We have engineered it from the beginning to make sure that we create again a strong cargo body with a robust ring structure. Use of high-strength steel, 85% usage of high-strength steel in the cargo body. No other competition even comes close. And we are offering a high deck as well, along with it, a ready-made high deck which the customer can use literally straight out of the factory. How does this help? High stiffness has been given in the floor structure, so the customer normally adds a lot of structure to make it usable for them. But in this case, we have given high-strength steel, high-stiffness floor structure. So it is ready to use with a lot of choices for the customer. What are we doing on the chassis? Of course, very, very important. 62% high-strength steel used in our chassis compared to much lower high-strength steel used in the competition. And we talk about higher frame stiffnesses. Veero already explained this in his punchy statements, but you can see the frame stiffness. There are two things very important: the bending stiffness of the frame, torsional stiffness of the frame. We are exceptionally good. 2x better than benchmark. So you can see that we derive the capability by intelligent engineering, innovative engineering. Soch se aage. What else have we done? We have designed the vehicle front and rear with an overslung semi-elliptical multi-leaf suspension. Gives the vehicle much better stance, gives the customer much better confidence. And this is obviously where the load is carried, frame to suspension. So we have made sure that we are best in class. We have provided the overslung suspension as well. So, have I answered your question, Satish?
Excellent, Doctor. Once again, highest payload capability of 1.6 ton in this segment. One of the biggest, widest and longest cargo deck that we have. But Doctor, I still have a question. When we do these kind of things, we add weight to the vehicle. As a commercial operator, I love all this. But what happens to my fuel economy? Kharcha to nahi badega mera?
Nahi badega. We have unmatched savings. Unmatched savings, this is the best for last. This is how our customer earns. This is the mileage for diesel, 18.4 kilometers per liter, ARAI certified number. This is the diesel mileage, as I said. How do we achieve this? How does it benefit the customer? This is class-leading mileage. We have the engine stop-start. We have power and eco modes available, and we have fuel coaching available. We tell the driver when to shift gears as well. Are they driving in the right gear? If they are not, there's a symbol which comes up in the cluster telling them to change gears. And so this is something that has been the primary focus: unmatched savings, total cost of ownership, whatever you call it, this is what the customers buy the commercial vehicles for. And this has been something that we have delivered as absolutely best in class.
Can we have the diesel EV, please? Click.
CG.
Okay, I think there's a diesel EV which we'll see in the final video to come in. But I saw something flashing on the screen that says 500 plus kilometers. And I remember Vijay talking about it and Veero talking about it. That's a CNG range, correct?
That is correct.
Absolutely. Mahindra is known for diesel products. We're always good at giving diesel fuel economy, reliable and powerful diesel vehicles. But CNG? इंडस्ट्री में तो लोग कहते हैं कि सीएनजी तो ठीक है, कमा लेती है, सीएनजी का इकोनॉमी भी अच्छा मिल जाता है, but सीएनजी उठाती कहाँ है? It's a bloody underpowered vehicle. And CNG doesn't perform like a diesel vehicle at all. I need to carry load, sometimes more load, go on flyovers, but CNG really doesn't do the thing for me. That's the situation current market. Have we done anything different?
Absolutely. That may be the perception of certain other CNG models. I can't comment on that. But our CNG that we are offering is an absolute no compromise product. Why do I say that? We have the best certified fuel efficiency, 19.2 km per kg, that is certified. It is absolutely best in class, nobody even comes close. But to your point, what about the performance? It drives as good as a diesel. There is absolutely no performance compromise when it comes to the CNG. You'll have to drive it to believe it. And we believe that this will really increase CNG adoption where the fuel is available, because this is absolutely no compromise CNG. And yes, it comes with 500 kilometers of certified range, including the emergency petrol tank of 5 liters that we've provided in the vehicle.
Amazing. So guys, I think it's been an excellent development by my R&D team, a world-class product in India today. If I was to summarize, best-in-class maneuverability, sabse kam katai. First in segment safety with an airbag option. Again, the first in this category, in this segment, not only in India, but in global markets. Car-like comfort, car-like interiors, the best-in-class payload, 1.6 ton. Best-in-class FE, both in diesel and a CNG that really performs like diesel. As a customer, इतना सब एक गाड़ी में मैंने तो नहीं सोचा था. ये तो वाकई सोच से आगे है. And to tell you more about the product and more features, I would like to invite Nal on stage.
Great. Thank you, Satish, Dr. Venkat. Phenomenal explanation of all the features in there. So it's time to bring it all home with the variants and pricing. But before we do that, you know, we've thrown a lot at you guys so far. There's so many features, so many benefits we put out there. So what I'm going to do is, I know it's a busy slide, but I'm going to summarize all of it and put it in one slide and shows all the category first, all the best-in-class features to start with. So busy one, very quickly, with a thumbs up, it's best in class. If it's a gold star, it's in first in class. In fact, first in the entire segment, if you want to talk about it across CV as well. So I'll just quickly go through mileage. We talked about it, the CNG range. From a savings perspective, engine stop-start. Performance, again, top-notch performance. Best in class. Segment first, safety. This is something Mahindra takes it very seriously, and you've seen that in the PV space as well. We're now bringing it to CV. Each and every one of these are first in class, have not been introduced to the category as well. Driver airbag, crash compliance, reverse parking, camera, premium cabin experience. The driver partners who buy our vehicles, they want car-like performance and car-like comfort. Touchscreen, power windows, D+2 seating, AC and heater as well. And then, of course, standout design, which Ajay talked about it. Overall, a phenomenal value proposition that we've put in place here. Now, there's one thing which is still missing. Mahindra is known about democratizing technology. We've always talked about democratizing technology, and you've seen that in our PV space as well. We're not too far behind on CV. IMAX is our answer in the CV space for democratizing technology. And this is something we've had for the last few years now. More than 50,000 vehicles since 2022 have IMAX in them. A lot of benefits already. If you look at it, the most used features, find my vehicle, if you're a fleet owner, live tracking, vehicle alerts. These are the features which are already used. Veero talked about the 50 plus features that we have. It could be 50, it could be 70 Veero, but the problem is, or the challenge is, competition is at 0 features, so I don't really mind if it's 50 or 70, right? But we are obviously not stopping there. We are announcing a new set of features with Veero. Fleet announcement. So if you're a fleet owner and you want to actually transmit a message to your entire fleet drivers, you have a fleet announcement, you can put a single message out there. Integration with DigiLocker. You can put all your official paperwork, license, documentation for the vehicle with DigiLocker. You can do your service booking with IMAX now. And we are also starting to bring car-like features in here. So you have remote functionality. In the variants which have an AC, you can do remote AC. You can cool your vehicle remotely before you come in. Now you can start to see what when we say car-like, we're thinking 360 degrees around this. That's what the new IMAX features which come in. The app has 4.3 rating, one of the best in the industry category as well, across both iOS and Android. So that's on IMAX. But we don't stop there. We talked about Veero. If you notice, the R in Veero has a golden sign to it. It's all about TCO. It's all about how I can make our customers prosper. That's the P in our UPP platform. And so it's important to talk about what we are doing in terms of the vehicle from a volume perspective. We know we have a winner out there. We've actually seeded this vehicle almost a month so far, and we've had a true winner. We've got some rave reviews. And if you get a chance after this, we're going to do tours of the line facility as well. Please do take a look at it. We put on a lot of innovation in our manufacturing processes to bring out a product with best-in-class cost structure. And that's across the body shop, chassis, paint shop. We have added a lot of robotics into it as well. And by the way, some of our suppliers have started to add a lot of robotics in there. So we'll walk through that. If you get a chance, you should go see the manufacturing facility as well. Our vehicles, when they go out there, the servicing is a critical aspect for this as well. It's critical what we do in service. So there's a bunch of segment firsts we're bringing from a service perspective. First in class, roadside assistance for 1 year, free roadside assistance. Again, not been something which has been in the industry so far. We also have our maintenance. We are so confident in the product that our service intervals are 20,000 now. Veero talked about it. 20,000 kilometers service interview. You don't need to pay any labor charges until 70,000 kilometers. First in the category as well. The periodic maintenance cost, if you see our labor charges and we have benchmarked it with competition, overall you save almost 46% lower than what competition has from a service charges perspective. So all in all, you put it together, it has the absolute best TCO. It's not just about the fuel efficiency. It's all about once you buy the vehicle, what does it take for you to keep the vehicle up and running? There's a few other things. I won't get into it here. So that's best-in-class service. But the beauty of it, all of this is, we know our customers is not an average customer. And that's where the modular platform comes in. All of this can be brought together in various different combinations and permutations. And that's what makes it a very, very powerful platform for us. We have 3 different variants with 2 optional trim variants, and I'll talk about it in a bit. We have 2 cargo lengths. We've talked about it as well, the 9 feet and the 10 feet cargo. We have 2 engine options that we're putting out right now, diesel and CNG. And of course, as part of the platform, we have EV in our portfolio on the roadmap as well. We have 3 cargo decks that we talk out. You put all of these things together, and the Lego blocks that come together, we have some really powerful variants coming up. So let's get to it. The first variant we're putting out is our V2 variant. This for the value-conscious customer. It could be a fleet owner who wants an additional vehicle to his fleet with a driver. It could be somebody who's been driving somebody else's vehicle and for the first time wants to buy a new vehicle. But we have not compromised here. You get a bunch of features we come with that. The flat fold features we talked about gives you the cabin comfort. You have interiors which start to look like a car. You have grab handles for easy ingress and egress. You have a 12-volt socket. You have a mobile dock for your phones. And as an option, we are giving the driver's airbag as well. So you could buy our entry-level variant, and you're not compromising on your safety. So that's the V2 variant. Okay. Time to reveal the price of our entry-level variant. Now, if it's 8.99, wait, it's not really soch se aage. So we said, if you're going to be soch se aage on all the features, we got to be soch se aage on pricing as well. The entry-level variant starts at 7.99. Okay. Let's keep going. So the next variant we have is the V4 variant. We call it the Comfort Seeker. We start to put in our comfort features into this variant and start to make it as car-like as we can. So you get climate control, you get a heater, you get AC, you have your driver's seat with adjustable headrest, your premium floor carpets, you have fast charging USB type for your phone, or you could even have a laptop. And you have the option to have a driver airbag in here. So you have that option as well. So it's really for somebody who might be starting to have a larger fleet, wants to actually drive his own vehicle. He might have a driver for a second or third vehicle, but he wants a vehicle for himself. He wants to have a little bit more creature comforts for himself. And that's what this variant is for. It's a V4 variant. And the price put out as well. Okay, so the V4 variant price is 8.99 lakhs. That's our mid-segment variant. Very competitive and aggressive pricing for the kind of features we're putting in there, the AC and some of the segment first and category first. I'll keep moving on here. I think we're getting the pricing sequence wrong here. So let me just get to the top end category. It's the ambitious aspirer category. This is really where we start to put everything together. We have the touchscreen infotainment coming in there, the power windows coming in, the steering mounted controls, the reverse parking camera that I talked about, the immobilizer feature that you have there as well, and a fully trimmed cabin. So really everything that we've talked about so far starts to come in into this variant. And this is for somebody who's really at the top of his game, has really built a nice fleet together, and starting to put the top-end variants out there. It could be somebody who's starting to put a captive fleet for the e-commerce customers. So there's a lot of different variants coming in there as well. And the V6 price point is at 9.56 lakhs. So here you go. We have 3 different variants we have put out here, the V2, V4, and V6. And like I said, overall from a features perspective, really there's nothing out there which offers the kind of value proposition we're putting out there. We kept TCO of the customer at the center of everything we have done. So it gives you unmatched safety, unmatched savings overall. And the price point is something which can get the market really going for us. So with that, what I'll do is we'll finish the presentation with the final AV and the entry of the vehicles.